It was just past midnight when Ethan Cole, a single dad and retired Army medic, pulled his truck over on a deserted country road. The rain was falling hard, the kind of storm that made the world feel both empty and alive. He had just finished a double shift at the local VA hospital and was driving home to his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Then he saw it, a flicker of light in the ditch, followed by a faint movement. He thought it was an animal at first. But when he got closer, his heart nearly stopped. It was a young female soldier, barely conscious, soaked in mud and blood, clutching her side where a bullet had torn through her uniform. "Hey! Stay with me!" Ethan shouted, kneeling beside her. "I'm a medic, don't close your eyes." Her lips trembled. "Don't call anyone. Please!" Ethan froze. "What are you talking about? You're bleeding out." Her dog tags glinted under the lightning, Captain Amelia Brooks. He recognized the name instantly. She'd been on the news 2 weeks ago, missing in action after a classified mission overseas. The Army had assumed she was dead. Ethan's training kicked in. He tore off his jacket, pressed it to her wound, and called for help anyway. But there was no signal. The storm had knocked out the cell towers. He had only one choice: get her to safety himself. He lifted her into the truck, one arm under her shoulders, another bracing her back. She was freezing, mumbling something over and over. "They betrayed us, the wrong people, don't let them find me." Ethan drove through the storm like a man possessed. He wasn't sure if she'd make it. He just knew one thing: he couldn't let her die. Not like this. When he reached his cabin on the outskirts of town, Lily was waiting by the window. "Daddy, who's that?" she asked as Ethan carried the unconscious soldier inside. "Someone who needs our help, sweetheart," he said softly. "Go get my medical kit." For hours, Ethan worked by candlelight, patching her wounds with the same calm precision that had saved dozens of soldiers overseas. He used every skill he'd learned, every instinct honed from years in the field. Finally, as dawn broke, Amelia's breathing steadied. She opened her eyes and whispered, Why are you helping me?" Ethan gave a tired smile. "Because once someone did the same for me." Over the next 2 days, Amelia slowly recovered. Lily brought her soup, blankets, and even her favorite stuffed rabbit. There was something pure in the way the little girl cared for her. No questions, no fear. Just kindness. But Amelia's story was far from simple. When she could finally sit up, she confessed everything. Her mission hadn't gone wrong by accident, it had been sabotaged. A superior officer had sold classified information to a foreign contractor, and when Amelia discovered it, they tried to silence her. She'd been shot and left for dead during an extraction. "I was going to go public," she said quietly, "but I didn't make it that far." Ethan listened, jaw tight. He'd seen corruption before. But this was betrayal of the highest order. The next night, headlights appeared outside his cabin. Black SUVs? No plates. "They found me," Amelia whispered, panicked. Ethan looked at Lily asleep on the couch, then back at Amelia. "Not on my watch." He shut off the lights, grabbed his old service pistol, and guided Amelia through the back door into the woods. They moved quietly, each step a battle against fear. The soldiers in black scoured the property, calling out her name. Then, a single shot cracked through the trees. But it wasn't aimed at them. Ethan realized someone else had arrived, the Army police. A chopper hovered above, floodlights cutting through the darkness. Amelia looked stunned. "How?" Ethan smiled faintly. "You told me not to call anyone. But I didn't. I called someone I trust." The man who stepped out of the helicopter was General Marcus Hale, a decorated officer, and Ethan's former commander. When he saw Amelia alive, he froze. "Captain Brooks, we thought you were gone." "She almost was," Ethan said sharply. "And she wouldn't be standing here if your own people hadn't tried to kill her." The air was thick with tension. The general didn't speak, just stared at Ethan like he already knew the truth. Within hours, an investigation began. The corrupt officer, Colonel Darby, was arrested. The entire conspiracy unraveled. Amelia's evidence, safely stored in Ethan's laptop, exposed everything. Weeks later, at an official ceremony, General Hale stood before a packed courtyard. Cameras flashed. Soldiers saluted. Beside him stood Ethan and Amelia, both in dress uniforms. "Sometimes heroes don't wear stars on their shoulders," the general said, voice steady. "Sometimes they wear scars, and carry love for their children." He turned to Ethan. "You didn't just save a soldier, you helped save this country's honor." Lily ran up and hugged Amelia's leg. "I told Daddy you were gonna be okay." Amelia knelt, eyes glistening. "You were right, kiddo. Because your daddy never gave up on me." As the crowd cheered, Ethan looked up at the flag fluttering in the wind. He thought of that night, the storm, the fear, the desperate heartbeat in his arms. And he realized something. Sometimes it isn't the battles we fight overseas that define us. It's the quiet ones, on lonely roads, in moments when no one's watching, that show who we really are.